Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us. I'm Lori Jovest, and I am here with Dr. Carolyn Daitch. Carolyn is a world-renowned hypnosis specialist and anxiety specialist, and she is here to talk to us today about the fundamentals of hypnosis. So, Carolyn, introduce yourself. Tell us more about your career.
Hi, Lori. Nice to see you today. I have been teaching hypnosis for, probably 35 years. And I love teaching hypnosis and I love practicing hypnosis. And I'm really passionate about sharing what I know with my colleagues. And you wanted to know how I got into this?
Yes.
It was quite like so many things in life, serendipitous. I had just moved to Detroit. I had a 3-week-old baby. I wanted to meet people. I got offers in the mail for more training. Some of them will require a lot of work. Long story short, I decided to take an advanced hypnosis training that only met one Sunday a month. I thought, perfect. And then once I got involved in the training, the person who was doing the training, Chuck Stern, who was excellent, said, "Why don't you be my assistant when I teach?" And I went,
Nice.
okay, but I'm an imposter. I don't know hypnosis. So I started right there. It was such a gift because I started reading everything I could read and started taking classes. And then I discovered, wow, this stuff really works and I'm suited for it. I was a theater
Nice.
major in college and a psychology and English major, and it just combined things I was interested in.
Nice. Now, let's back up a little bit. What is hypnosis?
Well, there's as many definitions of hypnosis as there are people who attempt to describe what it is. But essentially, if you pare it down, hypnosis is a state of focused attention, the state that we go in and out of all day long. You've probably had an experience where you were talking to a friend, Lori, and time went by really quickly.
Oh, yeah.
On the expressway, and you're driving and driving, and then suddenly you realize somebody's cutting in front of you, and you go, "Oh my gosh, I better pay attention." What's happening there? What's happening there is a dissociation between the conscious mind that's thinking about what you're going to eat for dinner or the next person you're going to help with their program, and your unconscious mind that's been driving since you were 16 and on automatic pilot. And in hypnosis, in addition to focused attention, there's typically this dissociation between conscious mind and unconscious mind. Now, why is that important? Well, it's important because we've discovered that resistance to change is in the conscious mind. You get a lot of yes buts in the conscious mind. But if we access the unconscious mind is more flexible. It's able to access memories and resources. And it actually embeds messages much more deeply than in the waking state.
Oops, we had a little hiccup there. We had a little tech hiccup, so we're going to back up a second. You kind of broke up. So backing up, okay, tell me about some applications of hypnosis.
Well, there are just about unlimited applications to hypnosis. A lot of people associate hypnosis with overeating or smoking cessation, but there's so many other kinds of things that we can use it for. We can use it for sports performance. We can certainly use it for anxiety. You mentioned that I do anxiety, do a lot of work integrating hypnosis in treatment of anxiety. We can use it for labor and delivery. We can use it for pain management. We can use it, and this is what I'm most excited about, and the people who may be taking my course will find this very useful. You can integrate hypnosis in any other treatment approach you use. For example, a lot of people use cognitive behavioral therapy to treat anxiety. That refers to changing our thinking, changing our behavior. But if we use hypnosis with cognitive therapy, it's like putting Miracle-Gro on cognitive therapy. And there's considerable research that shows the combination of using it with cognitive therapy makes cognitive therapy much more effective, again, because there's less resistance when you access the unconscious mind. You can use it for depression. I like to use it, and I wrote a whole book on this, on helping relationships, helping people manage their frustration in their relationships, to be more attuned, more loving. We can use it with children, we can use it with elderly, we can use it with adults. We can just, there's apps, almost nothing. We can, even if you're psychodynamic and you look for the core reason behind your issues, we can use hypnosis to help you remember things that need to remember. And I have found it incredibly helpful to work with post-traumatic stress disorder, where people are actually already in trance. They're in kind of a negative trance, and to help them stay in control of the trance state, be very helpful in that way. So I can't think of anything that it wouldn't be useful for as an adjunct.
Got it. So why is it so helpful to clients?
Well, first of all, Lori, everything gets better if you're relaxed.
Mm.
And hypnosis is a wonderful way to teach people to calm. And in the calm state, you were saying to me, you're really busy. We all are often too busy. But in a calm state, you might be able to say, okay, I've got these things to do. I'll take this one, that one. But in an agitated state, you might feel what I call flooding, a sense of overwhelm. I'll never get it all done.
Mm-hmm.
Being calm, whether it's pain or talking to your children or performing something on stage, being calm makes it better. And
Makes everything better, doesn't it? It does. I used hypnosis during cancer treatment, and it was incredibly helpful for keeping me out of that space of terror, because there's so many unknowns,
right,
that it helped me stay calm, get through my treatment without a lot of drama, with, helped me, I think, with my symptoms. I mean, it's good for a lot of things.
a lot of things. I want to remind people, it's not a therapy. It's an adjunctive tool that enhances therapy.
Got it. Now, who is a good subject for hypnosis?
Good question. Generally, the best subjects are creative people, people intelligent, probably a little bit above average intelligence. And when I see writers or actors, readers, people who like film, creative people, they're used to using their imagination. And
Got it. So somebody who's able to use their imagination is going to be easier for them to use the tool?
Right, because hypnosis is not only a focused state of attention, where your attention narrows, but it also utilizes imagination.
Got it.
It's time to take you to a safe place, and you'll use your imagination, or you'll use your imagination to fast forward when this current project is done. You can sigh a sense of relief. You need to be able to use your imagination.
Got it.
Unfortunately, the very best subjects are people who have PTSD, who were injured as children, because they automatically dissociate. They pretend they're in the treehouse when they're having experiencing abuse. So sometimes with those people, they're actually too hypnotizing. But essentially, the bell curve, just like the average person has 100 IQ with a standard deviation of 90 and 110, being hypnotizable is a bell curve too. The outliers are incredibly hypnotizable. They just hear the sound of my voice and they go into trance. And then there are other people where I don't bother. I mean, they can use it, but they're so concrete. Maybe a mechanical engineer might be not a great subject, solo some are.
Oh.
And then there are people like myself who are in the middle. I'm not particularly talented at it, and it sure works for me. Whenever I go to the dentist or get a procedure done or rehearse some. So you don't have to be really talented to have hypnosis available to you. I can tell you, when I became a believer, I was in the hospital way back when, having a medical procedure, and they didn't put me out. I had to be there, and I didn't, it was a gastroscopy, and they were putting a tube down my throat. Now they put people on medicine. And I thought, I don't want to be here. I was just taking that course with my colleagues. I don't want to be here. So I actually left the bed in my mind and went to the first thing I thought of, which was the nurse's station. And I stayed at the nurse's station while they did the procedure. And the doctor said that he couldn't believe how relaxed I was.
That's amazing.
That technically. Now, a question that comes up with me a lot with patients, they'll say, well, I hear you do hypnosis, Dr. Daitch, but I'm way too anxious to be hypnotized. And I'll say, well, you might be surprised, because in order to be a good hypnosis subject, you have to have focused concentration ability. And you have very narrow focused concentration. You think about nothing else but that bridge you have to cross, either metaphorically or really driving. And they'll say yes. And then I say, and in order to be a good subject, you have to have a good imagination. And you have a great imagination. You can imagine everything that can go wrong. And then in order to be a good subject, you need to be sensitive to bodily cues. And I bet you're very sensitive to sensations in your body. You may notice every stomach ache or headache or spasm. And your anxiety brings it on more, and you notice it more. So my hunch is you're going to be a really good hypnotic subject. I might be wrong, but you will be the first person with anxiety I've seen who wasn't a good subject.
Got it. Oh, that is fascinating. That is really fascinating. What are some of your favorite hypnotic techniques?
Okay. Well, would you like to experience one or two of them right now?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I promise I won't hurt you. For most people, I start them off with what we call an eye roll. So what I'd like you to do right now is I'd like you to imagine you're looking at your forehead. So let your eyes go way up as far as they can go.
Okay.
Take a deep breath in, hold the breath, and then exhale and close your eyes. That's right. That's good. And you're sitting in a chair, listening to my voice, and you can be aware of the support of the chair and the support of my voice. That's right. And I wonder if you can focus right now on a muscle that is very relaxed. Just tell me what muscle is relaxed right now.
My left hand.
Left hand, good. So just focus on that left hand. Kind of travel inside that left hand, if you would. And just imagine that that left hand is heavy. And you can begin to say to yourself silently, my left hand is heavy. 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 My left hand is heavy, and I am calm and quiet and composed, or I'm quite calm and quiet and composed. Just nod your head if you can feel that heaviness in that hand. Right, right. And the reason I want your hand to be heavy is because a heavy muscle is a relaxing muscle. And you might be curious whether the heaviness goes up your wrist or your forearm in that arm. Not your head if it does. It doesn't matter if it doesn't. But a lot of this is just about curiosity. That's right. And while you're experiencing that heaviness in your hand, I'd like you just to breathe in through your heart. Just imagine that you're breathing in through your heart, breathing in, breathing out. That's right. Breathing in and breathing out. You're just breathing into your heart. You might even wonder about what color, like you're seeing a rainbow of colors, and breathing in a particular soothing color into your heart. And if you can imagine a soothing color, nod your head. Put your hand on your heart. And just breathe in that color. Breathe in that color into your heart. And let yourself feel safe and quiet and composed. And as you continue to breathe into your heart, I wonder if there's a special place you've been to in your life. Maybe by the ocean or in the woods or in the mountains, your own backyard. And do you have a special place? And where is that?
On the grass at a park on Lake Michigan.
So I want you just to go right now to the grass in a park on Lake Michigan. And I wonder if you can use your inner eye just to look at that, which is beautiful in Lake Michigan, such a wonderful lake. There's a reason that they call it a Great Lake. It's so expansive and great in beauty, majestic beauty. And perhaps you can just go there now, and I can be curious with you as you're curious what your inner eye sees, the sparkles on the lake, the freshness of the smell of the grass in the park, maybe people around, noises of people and birds, and maybe there's a breeze on your forehead. And of course, you're the editor of this experience. You can change it in any way you like. But just use all your senses to be right by the edge of Lake Michigan on an ideal day with an ideal sky and an ideal feeling. And when you can imagine that you're there, nod your head. Right. And then when your other hand, I want you to anchor this in, Lori. I know you're a very busy woman. So I want you to have a reset button for you. And the reset button is an okay signal. So with your other hand, take your thumb and forefinger and let them touch. Good. You can put it down, but just feel it touch. That's right. And know right now that you are safe. You are safe. And everything is okay now. Everything is okay. That's right. Thinking to yourself the phrases, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay. Because you are. I'm okay in this moment. Because you are okay in this moment. We don't know what's going to happen later on today, but in this moment with you and me, with this encounter, you are okay. Everything is okay. And it can be comforting to know that in the future, when you're really stressed, you can just make that okay signal and reset. Reset. And once again, say, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. And then maybe reimagine being on Lake Michigan. Right? Good. Good. But now you can let your fingers go. And I'd like to do 2 other techniques with you. One of them, you like me and most of our listeners are real busy. You can keep your eyes closed. And I'd like you to think of a project you're working on right now that's complicated. And I'd like you to fast forward in your mind's eye when it's complete. Go forward in time where the bulk of the work is done, at least for one project. That's right, you're nodding your head. And as you nod your head, perhaps you can imagine that feeling of relief that all right is done. That gratitude that it's done. Gratitude for the strength and persistence within you, Lori, that got it done. And the gratitude for others who helped you. because we all have internal resources and external resources. So just move into relief, maybe even a little smile on your face. Yes, we did it. I did it. We did it. Right. And that's called fast forwarding. Fast forwarding with positive expectancy to the future. What are you noticing you're feeling right now?
Relief,
Relief. So
relaxation.
Yeah, hold it. Dr. Erickson, whose work I studied, said, too many people wait till they're successful to feel their success. Feel your success now, Lord. Feel that relief, that relaxation, that smile on your face. Yes. And
Mhm.
feel it now. Right. Good. And now open your eyes. And come back. How are you doing?
Good, relaxed.
I'm just doing hors d'oeuvres. If I were doing, I
Oh,
would take you much deeper, but these are just little samples, little tidbits.
yeah.
Is it
What a difference in how I feel, though.
really?
Just, like I just let out a big breath and just
Right.
sigh of relief, I guess is what I would say. A sigh of relief.
Now, do we have time for one more technique? This one I developed
Sure,
years ago, and it's one of my very favorites. It's the
absolutely.
juxtaposition of thoughts and feelings. And I was taking a drive in an icy area with my son in Vermont, and I was nervous. I didn't know where I was going. It was icy. We had a plane to catch after the meeting, and I had this epiphany. It's not realistic for me not to be nervous, but a part of me can also be comfortable. And I realized that if we have anxiety, if we're going through cancer or whatever happening, we can have two sets of thoughts and feelings at once. So I'm going to work with you right now. And is there anything at all about your husband? I don't know nothing about your husband that irritates you.
Oh, that's funny. He's a little snappy sometimes.
Snappy.
A little snappy. Yeah.
Okay, put both arms out straight.
Okay.
Okay. All right. What I want you to do right now is I want you to put the irritation that you feel when he's snapping. You mean irritable a little bit?
Yeah. Yeah.
And how do you feel when he's irritable?
Anxious.
Anxious. Okay, good. So what I want you to do, Lori, is in your left hand, close your eyes, and put that anxiety, which is interesting that you have anxiety there, in your left hand.
Okay.
And there might be other feelings too. Are you angry, or I suppose are you angry with him or sad?
Annoyed.
Mhm.
Annoyed.
So put the annoyance and the fear in your left hand.
Okay.
Now make a fist and hold it. And what are the thoughts that come to you that annoy and fear? What are the thoughts that you might say? I can't believe he's saying, I don't deserve this.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't deserve this. I didn't do anything. That's not my fault. All those things.
I'll keep your left hand. Tight fist. It's not my fault. Resentment. That's not your fault. The annoyance, the fear, and keep it there. Now, in your right hand, open your palm. And I'd like
Okay.
some things that are dearing about him, that you think are precious. His sense of humor, his intelligence, whatever is kind.
It's a great big heart.
Big heart.
It's got a huge heart.
So what I'd like you to do in that right hand, that appreciation for this huge heart.
Okay.
It's endearing. And
He's funny as can be.
funny as can be. What a wonderful quality. Okay, so I want you to put his sense of humor that you appreciate and his big heart and your appreciation of both in the right.
Okay.
Make a fist.
Okay.
Open your eyes for a minute. Open your eyes and look at me.
Okay.
Two knuckles together.
Okay.
Again. Close your eyes and be aware that you can have different thoughts and different feelings about your husband. Now what I want you to do is take your left hand and put it on your heart. And put your right hand over that left hand. And acknowledge that you're capable of two different assessments of him. You're capable, even when you're annoyed or feeling defensive, of fairly quickly going into appreciation of that which is delightful about him. And see if you can hold both. See if you can hold both.
I absolutely can. Absolutely can hold both.
Absolutely can hold both. And just hold a little bit longer. Hold, hold, hold. The dark and the light, the ebb and flow of feelings. And you can be annoyed and still, on some level, either at the same time or right afterwards, move into that. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. Good. Now open your eyes. Of course, if I was putting you in deep hypnosis, that would take longer to have your eyes be open. But as again, these little my favorite techniques.
It feels so light.
It's
It's really great.
That's a wonderful kind of floaty, good feeling. Now, I want to tell you some things about why somebody might want to study hypnosis.
Let's talk about it. Why would a therapist want to add this to their toolbox?
Okay, good question. First of all, almost all of us get stuck. We work with clients and some are hard to help. And so this is a way to, again, overcome resistance. Another reason to take a course like this is it's fun. It's fun to do hypnosis. I love it because I'm using my left brain, my analytical brain, to think about how to solve a problem. And then I'm using the poet in me, the creative part. So if any of you who's been working as long as I have, we can get burnt out. So that creative process is just wonderful to do, to think of, be a wordsmith, tell metaphors and stories, access resources and people. All the time you're keeping your head focused on the problem they're presenting. So it's a very creative, fun way to work. Another thing, people want hypnosis. If you get to be a specialist in hypnosis, you won't have to worry about having a practice. This time, right now, nobody's worrying about having practices. We're all so busy. But it's a really good niche area to have, because so many people want it.
So many different applications. So many different applications.
Right. So those are some reasons to study it. And it's just really always intellectually stimulating to learn something new. They say a way to get old is to become a master at something and stay with it.
Yeah. New techniques are a good thing. New techniques and new approaches to solving problems is always good.
Right.
Good for you as a human, good for your business. Now, tell me a little bit. Now, during this 3-day workshop that's coming up, will you be doing practice sessions with people that are there, that are in attendance?
Yeah.
So, so they have the opportunity to be participants too and experience.
And one of the things I like to do is I like to watch my colleagues do hypnosis. So I don't always send them off into breakout rooms. I like to watch them so I can kind of be their tutor and say, you're doing really well with this, but we need to kind of tweak this, almost like a director of a film. And they learn better.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So that's one of the things that I do in all my teaching, whether it's mentoring, teaching hypnosis, teaching courses on anxiety and that kind of thing. Always watch people work.
So it's very practical in that you'll be practicing, participants will be practicing the techniques with
Right.
you watching and helping them enhance those skills over it's a 2.5-day workshop?
Yeah, the way I've structured it, there's 2 intense long days on a Saturday and Sunday, I believe, and where they're going to learn inductions, they're going to learn deepening, they're going to learn applications, they're going to learn some ethics. And then a couple of weeks later, after they practice, we'll have a half day where they can show me what they've integrated and I can watch them work. So that's why I spread it out like that.
Great idea. Sounds very, very practical. So is there anything else you'd want to tell people about this course coming up?
I don't think anybody's ever been sorry that they took it.
Right.
So I think they're, first of all, get to be part of the hypnotic community of these experienced, wonderful therapists. I always learn from my students. And so that's something to look forward to as well. And it's fun, it's intense, it's a little humbling because you have to learn new skills, but it's really teachable. And the way I teach everything is the emphasis, as you could see today with my demonstration with you, is they're pragmatic and practical. I teach techniques that are practical, easy to teach, and easy to learn for your clients.
Wonderful. Well, that wraps us up for today. So how can people sign up?
Well, they can either go to my website, carolyndaitchphd.com, or I'll have you put the link on, if you will, Laura. You're my amazing tech person. So, or you can just email me at carolyn@carolyndaitchphd.com. But Lori will put a link on this so you can just.
There will be a link in the video that you can go to and in the post copy. So watch for the link and go ahead and sign up. There are discounts for early signups, and there are also discounts for bringing a colleague with you to the session, which would always be fun too, because it's kind of like a networking kind of activity as well, and getting to know other therapists. Am I correct?
Absolutely. And if anybody wants to know more, they can contact me at carolyn@carolyndaitchphd.com, or they can call my office at 248-626-8151, and my assistant will answer some questions and send them over to me. But I'm
Wonderful.
meeting these wonderful people. I've been so lucky in my career, not only to have this skill, but my closest friends are people that I've taught over the years. You really stay connected.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. And I think with that, we'll wrap up. Thank you, Carolyn, so much for taking the time today to discuss hypnosis and all the things that you can do with it, and also to practice on me. I feel really good. So I will take that with me into my long weekend coming up. And take care. Thank you.
Bye-bye.